we call this Committee of the Whole of the Board of Education for School District Number 40 at 6 p.m. on Monday, October 9th at the Coolidge Professional Development Room. Roll call, please.
Audrey Adamson.
Here.
Chet DeSmit.
Here.
Ramona Dixon. Here. Jason Farrell.
Here.
Lindsay Hines.
Here.
Andrew Ware.
Here.
Aaron Weldon Smith. Jonathan Clark.
Here. All right, we have approval of the minutes of the Committee of the Whole of September 11th, 2023.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, public comment and participation will be moved to the regular meeting. And we will have the student spotlight with Hamilton Elementary. All right, Mrs. Oswald, yeah. We are excited, yay!
We've been practicing, they have their best professional outfit on for you guys today. We discussed that before the meeting. Okay, so we are gonna talk a little bit about the student jobs at Hamilton. I cannot take credit for this idea. I learned about it at a professional development a few years ago, and it's been on my radar for a while. And with hiring our building supervisor, Amanda Carter, we were able to get it started this year. So this is just getting started, but we're really excited about it, and they've done a great job. So I wanted them to have the opportunity to share with you today. So, all right, well, we'll get started with the job application.
Hi, I am Joanne Sears, and in order to apply for a job, you must have at least 80% school attendance, no D's and F's, and no missing assignments. And my job application is, I would like this job because I am good at taking control, I'm a good listener, I help others, I'm kind, and I love being helpful. Thank you.
So they did have to apply for the job. We did have a hiring committee, and unfortunately there were some students that did not get hired this time, but they will have the opportunity to reapply for second semester. All right, equipment managers. Yeah, you guys can step in front of the thing so that everybody can see you. They have to be able to see your outfit too, Maddox.
Hello, I am Maddox Clark. I'm Benji Carter and Neil Salazar. We are the equipment managers for Hamilton Elementary School.
Every morning we make sure the equipment is ready for the day, and after school we pick it up.
Maddox will do the field equipment. Benji does the laptop equipment in the morning. I do that in the afternoon. Like Eli said, I get the balls out from the shed in the morning and put them in the afternoon. I put them back. I also get the goals out on Monday morning and put them back on Friday afternoon. The best part is I get a key to the shed. When I am sick, my parents let the staff know.
Now, there were some days where we didn't get it picked up, which Eli will tell you more about.
So what we did is figure out a schedule where me and Benji could and cannot do the dates.
We are so grateful to do this job for our school. Thank you for letting us talk about our jobs.
It was definitely a big day when Maddox got the key. That was a big deal. Okay, let's go ahead and introduce our lunchroom custodian.
Hi, my name is Sarah and I'm from Hamilton Elementary School and our job is custodian helper. Why we like this job is because we get to help out the custodians because all the kids make messes and we feel bad because they're the only ones cleaning up the messes. We give them extra help and make their job just a little easier. Why we wanted this job is because we want to help the custodians and want to make them happy. Thank you for this opportunity.
All right, recyclers.
Hello, board members. My name is Presley Montag, and I am one of the 3 recyclers for Hamilton Elementary School. At 2 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I go into each classroom on the 2nd floor and ask the teacher if they would like me to take out the recycling bin. On every other Friday, me and the other recyclers take the big bins to the cafeteria. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come to this meeting. I hope you enjoyed my speech.
All right, next up, the kindergarten lunch assistants.
Hi, I'm Grayson, and my job is helping when the kindergartners have lunch. I do my job every Friday. Most of the things I do in the lunchroom are opening milk, getting condiments and spoons, helping the kindergartners to the bathroom, and reminding the kindergartners to be safe and only say nice things. Overall, I love my job and it is my favorite part of the day.
Hi, my name is Bella. My job is kindergarten lunchroom helper. Every Thursday, I go down to the lunchroom at 11:10. I help the lunch ladies by opening milks and other things. I also bring the kindergartners to the bathroom, and I remind them to keep their hands and feet to themselves and be kind with their words. I'm glad I got the job of kindergarten lunchroom helper because I'm glad I get to help the lunch ladies with the kindergartners.
Hi, my name is Jackson Rollins, and my job is helping the kindergartners in the lunchroom. I open a bunch of things. I tell kids to be safe. I take kids to the bathroom, and I give away fall cards. Thank you for your guys' time.
Hello, my name is Elena Haberkamp, and I help with the kindergarten lunchroom on Tuesdays. I do stuff like walk them to the bathroom, help them open food containers, getting condiments and spoons, help them resolve problems when they have them, help them stack trays and give out cards when they are good. I love my job and I am so glad I got it. I think it is a great way to not only make sure that the kids are being safe and getting what they need, but also help the lunch ladies.
Hello, I am Joanne Sears, and I help on Mondays. I love my job. At 11:10 every Monday, I sometimes take kindergartners to the nurse. I cut open bags for them. I answer the questions, and I make sure they are safe and do not call each other names. Opening plastic bags is the highlight of my day. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
Elena did look at me today and say, I had no idea the kindergarten lunch assistant was gonna be as hard as it is. I said, welcome to our life. Yes, they do great.
Okay, I told them I need a note card too because I haven't done this in a really long time. So our next step is to ensure that the students remain engaged, connected, and proud of the work that they're doing. So our goal is to provide feedback to the student helpers about what we have noticed them doing well, areas of improvement, as well as giving them the opportunity to share about their experiences and problem solving as we need to. Our hope is to continue to expand and add more positions throughout the school year in an effort to engage as many of the fifth graders as we can. We'll continue to set real-world expectations and community connection through these responsibilities. It has been really great to see these students in leadership roles, and there's so many other fifth graders that are excited about it now. So at the end of this semester, we'll have our next round of applications, and these guys have helped come up with some good ideas for other jobs as well, so that we can just keep growing it, and seeing them be leaders is just really fun.
So our why, this is connected to our pay school for community. We are monitoring our office referral numbers this year in hopes to decrease it by 15% compared to last year. Our numbers were a little bit higher than we would have liked to have seen. We felt like office referrals was a good way to kind of measure the climate and culture of the building because it is something that we keep track of and we always have the data behind. We're obviously going to be looking at different things throughout the year to kind of measure that, but office referrals is like a real world, everyday thing that we can look at to kind of gauge the climate and culture in the building. And so this is what we were trying to do to make that happen. As you can see, the job application program was on there. And so that is one of our action steps to go with our goal for our pay school. And for September, our office referrals are down compared to last year. So we're on track to make that. We're actually almost cut in half right now. So I'm really excited about that. Our fifth graders were kind of a target goal or a target group for us. Usually our office referrals are higher in fifth grade than some of the other grades. So we felt like if we could encourage them to be leaders and really give them the opportunity to have some control and leadership in the building, that would hopefully they would buy into that and our office referrals numbers would go down. So we're on track for that. So fingers crossed that continues. Do you have any questions for the group? We did practice questions. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. Does anybody have any questions?
That is such a fantastic program.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks. You're doing
So are there any jobs, like what are the new jobs that you think we could maybe implement next semester?
Some of the ideas were, so there's like a front room near the office, and and the idea was to have someone like wipe off the tables and the whiteboards and do stuff in that area.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We just talked about how that's the beginning of when you walk in a building, you want it to look nice, and so they could have ownership of making sure that our school looks nice when people enter it.
Yeah.
So, did you have something to add, Eli? Oh, sorry.
I was thinking maybe like a recess helper.
Very
Great.
good idea.
We will take all the recess helpers.
Yeah.
Maddox, did you have something to add?
Maybe we can have like an electrician, so like they like go around the school and like turn off all the lights, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is a good
I
idea.
like that. Did you have another question?
I just was wondering if anybody would want to share something they've learned, like what's something that you didn't know you were gonna learn and you were like, you learned something by doing this, yeah.
A lot of the kindergartners like chips.
Okay,
A lot of the kindergartners like prime.
Like what?
Prime.
Prime, oh.
Kindergartners are really needy.
Okay. These are valuable life lessons. Well learned.
Open anything for life of them.
We did talk about one thing that they did not like about being a kindergarten helper, and the accidents when they pee their pants and they have to walk them to the nurse was not their favorite part about kindergarten lunch.
Real life.
Anything else to add, Maddox? Go ahead.
Sometimes the goals are really hard to get out because of like all the goggle ball pits. And I thought they were gonna be easy to get out because of like even if there was goggle ball pits, but no.
It's kind of crowded in the shed. Yeah. Do you like to
It'd be like how most of the time the Legos are everywhere. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions for the group? Go ahead.
Do you guys find that like your friends are now showing more respect for all of the stuff because they know you guys have to do all the cleanup and all of that? Like, are you seeing
I
some of
think
that?
the
Yeah.
kindergartners
A
are
little
getting
bit.
more used to it.
They clean up the tables a little bit more.
Do some of your friends want to apply next semester? Have they talked to you guys about that, or have you heard anything? Nice. Yeah. Okay.
We'll
Oh,
try.
you're doing it again.
We're trying again.
Okay. All right. Any other last minute questions for us? Thank you for having us. I love that you guys did this today. Thanks for having them. They were really good.
Picture.
Yeah.
Should we get a picture of them?
Oh, yes, yes.
Before they leave, they should.
Do you wanna come in front of the
Yeah,
table here?
yeah.
Have the
Yeah, why don't you
end?
guys go stand in front of the table there and we'll get a picture.
Just come stand. So we're not in the picture.
Are you going to the side?
Scoot over. It's good to
You wanna be in the picture, like behind
You can like go.
Here,
Here, let us get behind you guys.
Should the board go behind them?
I know, I think you guys should be in it. I think. Yeah, do it. We'll squat down a little bit.
We're tall, we're not
Okay.
tall with us.
Hey, squat down. Squat down. Whisper. Eli.
Careful.
Squat down.
Okay.
Take a good picture, go.
My legs are.
Okay, everybody good? Okay.
All right, okay. Try to make Candace proud. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Love it, thank you.
Awesome. Thank
Good
you.
job,
Thanks
guys.
again.
Thank you.
Good job. Oh, yes, of course. No problem. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, parents. for
parents.
coming.
Thank you, parents.
Well, that was fantastic.
Good idea, board.
Yes, way to pack it in. Have students.
Yeah.
Get all sorts of.
Yes, they're not. But they're not. They're news at the end.
Winter concert when everybody leaves after the kindergarten.
Yeah.
There's nobody left. I bet they're a big help.
I was gonna grasp it.
Yes,
She was
no,
ready to
I
go.
will find out, but I bet they're a massive amount of help at lunch. I mean, legit help.
Someone who's had lunch from
Yes, those kids.
Helpless. All right, that was amazing. So now we'll move on to the annual financial report and audit with Mr. Gallo. We plan promise not to like harass you or use you. First presentation.
Alright, well, thank you. I'm actually going to be passing this on over to Sarah Bonzak. She will be presenting a little presentation for you tonight. Just a few slides to go over the comprehensive financial report that you have in front of you.
Thank you for having me tonight. I'm going to speak mostly from the actual presentation, but I will refer to the other documents as well. The deliverables are your 2023 annual comprehensive financial report, and that's the bound document that you have in front of you. You'll also see that you have the Illinois State Board of Education annual financial report. That's the thick document with really small print. This is actually filed with the Illinois State Board of Education as required. And then there's two letters that you should also have at your desk. One is the communication with the board, and the other is what's referred to as a control deficiency or a management letter. This next slide we kind of think of as the report card for the audit. When we come out to do the audit, we actually do three different types of audits. The first one is an audit of the financial statements. You received an unmodified opinion, which is the highest form of opinion that you can receive. There was an emphasis of a matter paragraph within that opinion. This year, you were required to adopt the new subscription-based information technology standard. That resulted in restating beginning governmental net assets by $185,000. And what it does is it puts the records as an asset and a liability if you have a multi-year information technology subscription. So it looks at it kind of like it was a lease, and last year we adopted the new lease standard. The second type of audit that we do is referred to as a government auditing standards audit. And the purpose of that's twofold. One is to look at your internal controls or your checks and balances, if you will, and to test them to make sure that they're functioning as they were designed. And the other part of that audit is to look at your compliance with laws, regulations, contracts, and agreements. There were no findings, so no material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies, and no compliance findings. Very clean report. And the last type of audit we do is referred to as the federal single audit, and that we're looking at your expenditures of federal awards and we're testing them. We were required to test 20% of your federal dollars this year, and there were no findings on your federal awards either. So again, a very clean report. Any questions on that piece of it? Then I was just going to do a high overview of your financials for the year. The first page is looking at your revenues. Your revenues in total this year were $156.3 million compared to $137.2 million the year before. So it's about a $19 million increase. There's two places or three places to look there. Your grants and contributions increased about $9 million. There's two pieces of that. One's the on behalf, the TRS and the THIS, and I talked about that last year. That's an on behalf by the state that you're required to record, and it's shown as both a revenue and an expenditure. So you'll see that same increase on the other side when we talk about the expenditures. The other piece of that was your federal grant expenditures this year. Increased approximately $4.7 million. So that's the other large piece there. And that's probably or primarily in your education stabilization grants, your ESSER grants. The other couple things to look at, property tax revenues. There's three factors to consider. One's the assessed value, the tax multiplier, and the tax rate. Your 2022 taxable assessed value increased about 8% this year. Your property tax rate actually decreased slightly from 5.02 to 4.97. And then the other piece of that is kind of a timing piece. You recognize your July and your August amounts that you receive as revenue in the current fiscal year. This year, your July and August receipts of property tax were about 61% of that 2022 levy. Last year, your July and August receipts were about 58%, so they're up slightly higher than they were the year before as a percentage of your total levy. And then the other one I just want to mention because it's so phenomenal is the interest increase. So it was 193 last year, and this year it's about $3.6 million. So in years of good interest, it's really helpful for all of the districts and governmental entities. Any questions on the revenues? If not, the expenditures. Your expenditures in total were about 116 million this year, compared to about 107,000 last year. Again, about a $9.4 million increase. Again, you had the on behalf in there. And also, these are on the full accrual, so they have pension expense, OPEB liabilities, and any benefit or salary increases that you have are in those numbers as well. And then the last graph is just looking at your operating fund equity. So this is your educational, operations and maintenance, transportation, your working cash funds, just looking at the ending equity. It increased this year about 17.6 million. And then the financial profile score is a 4.0 out of a 4.0, which is up from the prior year that was at 3.9. So again, very, very good news for the district. Your financial profile designation continues to be a recognition. And operating expenditures of these funds were about 113.7 million. So your equity in these operating funds is about 281 days. So it's up slightly from the year before where it was at about 247 days of operating expenditures. So all in all, a very good report. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you
That
very
was
much.
very excellent.
Thank you.
Just full of goodies.
And I guess I'd be remiss to not thank Jen for the work that she does when we come in. We're rather, there's a lot of us and we stay for longer than she'd like us to stay, but she's very helpful and gets us all of our information. We appreciate it.
You're nice enough to put up with me sometimes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. I just want to say again, thank you to our business department. They do a wonderful job every year. And a special thanks to Jen. She does all the heavy lifting on this audit. She's been incredible to work with, and I really appreciate everything that she does. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available. So as you go through that report a little bit more, want some more detail, I'd be happy to answer any of those questions for you. So thank you.
Yes, I do have a question for you. Since the multi-year agreement component that Sarah discussed, the rules and regulations have changed around it? Are we going to be changing our administrative procedures around how we do our contractual services with the different organizations that we utilize?
In what regard? Because we are going to be, there are some changes to the RFP process. Is that what you're referring to?
Right.
I think she's talking about the subscription,
Yeah.
the changes to the subscription.
Subscription base. Can't consider that at all.
So it's certainly drives you to want to do annual subscriptions as opposed to multi-year subscriptions because of the county. But it's still a, you know, you in the end have to do kind of a cost benefit analysis of whether it really makes financially more sense to go ahead and do a multi-year. And in the year of where there was a lot of ESSER funding, a lot of the districts were prepaying and doing a multi-year with us.
So are you recommending districts change the way that they're doing that, or what's the recommendation from you guys as an auditor?
No, not necessarily. It is considered, the liability is considered part of your debt limitation, so you do have that to consider. But in the end, I still think you have to look at and make a good management decision as to what's the best case for the district.
And we can go through that and review that process, and talk through that, as we go forward here. That's all I have. So, any other questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, next up, you stay right there, Mr. Gallo. We'll do facilities updates, projects, and timelines with Mr. Gallo and Mr. Carsons. Keith, we're just excited to have you.
Yeah.
Keith looks excited. He looks stoked. All right.
So we just wanted to give the board an update on our facilities and future projects that we're looking into for the upcoming years. So just to look back on our summer projects, we had the HVAC at Lincoln Irving and Washington. We also did LED and fire prevention updates to Lincoln Irving and Washington, as well as the roof at Wilson and the high school, and parking lots at Butterworth and Horseman. We have a few pictures and such to kind of focus on all of these projects. I'm going to have Keith kind of run through those and just explain each one.
Well, I'm hoping the fifth graders don't make me look bad. Start off there.
Yeah.
As you can see, if you haven't had a chance, go to Washington, see what we've done to the hallway, see what we've done to the gymnasium. You would not recognize that was Washington because of all the glass bowl. It's called a fish bowl up there. And the ceilings, we've changed all out. We've added the clouds, and it's really changed the outlook of the building. It's also changed the outlook of the staff and the students. They just look around looking at the ceilings. They're very excited to see what they've had in changes there. And this, I mean, it's just, we'll say it's paint and ceilings, but it makes a different feel for these kids when they walk in those buildings. So I would encourage you to go over there. And then the next slide. These are going down the hallway. So this would be looking west to the office there. And we did more clouds there. And then we also did clouds going down the kindergarten wing, so outside the cafeteria. And then this would be the other end of that wing. We also had the opportunity to paint the gymnasium, add some stripes. We had to hide the sprinkler piping. So in order to do that, we got a little creative and we thought, well, we're gonna paint a little bit, let's paint the rest of it. We had a little bit of money left over to continue to do it. And that has changed the outlook of the kids too. They just love going in there and looking around, so. This happens to be one of the classrooms. This is all new cabinetry that was added as part of that project. We had to take all the casework out because it was steam piping. And as part of the project, we put new casework back in. And that was all part of this project. We were not able to do that at Lincoln Irving because of the anticipation of the remodel in the next 3 to 4 years. So they got a lot of new shelving units, but they didn't get the very nice cabinetry at this point. So this happens to be the new boiler system. We took out an old steam boiler, put in new hot water boilers, took one of the mechanical rooms and added the chiller and the pumps and the glycol system. So it's changed the outlook of that. This is all new switch gear. This is what we paid extra for. Originally we did the job and ordered it in December. They said that we couldn't get it till January of 2024. So you guys okayed a little bit of expenditures to get it here within 6 months, and we were very fortunate that we could do that. So that's a new switch gear. This is the heating pumps. If you go to Lincoln Irving, this is the penthouse that they had to build for sound attenuation to meet the code requirements in city molding. The chiller will go inside that when it arrives. We do not have a shipping date yet. We are short one panel in this unit that's like this big. And they cannot ship it because it's not fully UL rated until that one panel shows up. So we're anticipating it being there in the next week or so, and then it'll ship out of Mexico, take about 10 days to get here. We redid some of the classrooms. If any of you have ever been to the kindergarten classroom at Lincoln Irving, all of the smart boards were right up against the entry wall. It was very tight for the teachers to work. It wasn't a good layout. So we had the opportunity to change some things, remove the smart board. We had the new units in there and they just love it. We had the opportunity to ask them to come in early and say, hey, if we did some things, how would you like it to look? What would you like to see in this? And we added new whiteboards, we added new tack boards, and it really turned out nice. This happens to be the library at Lincoln Irving. We had all new carpeting in there. And if you've ever been in there, it was really ugly, oldish brown, and it wasn't really a safe place to be. This used to be an under the stairwell storage unit. We were able to turn it into a workspace for one-on-ones. We added air conditioning so we could stay within the code requirements. The ROE always says you can't have kids in a storeroom. So we were able to fix that. And we were able to carpet paint it, make it a little nicer. At the high school, we tack pointed the whole front of the building about 4 foot up. What that means is all the grouting was coming out. So that holds the fascia brick in. And the salt years of throwing snow up against it, it would have started to crumble. So we had all that grout removed and all new grout put in. As well as the high school on the East Gym, all the block had those ugly painted windows. I never noticed it, but apparently everybody else did. So we got those all replaced. That turned out very well. It really changes the outlook of the inside and outside of the gym. We've had a lot of comments on that. So this happens to be the asphalt project at Horseman. It was in bad shape. They actually had some bus drivers that kind of quit working for them because it was so bumpy to come in. So that worked out very well. They're very pleased. The kids were excited. They took all the kids out on the playground to, one, see the asphalt, but two, every time a big machine would come out, they'd go out to the playground and they'd stand there and watch it for a while when they were doing things. So it was an entertainment for them. This happens to be Butterworth, all new parking lot, but we also added a new sidewalk to the west end of the building. That's the chiller room there, and it comes down and around. So now the staff can enter this end of the building and come in. We added a card swipe, we ordered a camera, big accessibility for all the teachers on the west wing to get in very easily without having to go all around the building to get the stuff. So it was a very, very busy summer. Any questions regarding the projects?
Did Washington get some of the additional, I'm so
I'll
sorry.
have to come closer because I'm old and can't hear.
Did Washington get some of the additional furniture when we did the?
Yes, so as Brian had furniture ordered for Butterworth and Washington, and they both got the rest of their furniture, I believe. So yeah, they ended up getting that. And then there's some other schools that actually bought quite a bit of furniture on their own, so they could have the kitty tables are writable, a few more desks were writable. A couple of schools, some of the principals used some of their building funds to do some of that this year too. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. So this year's school projects, we have a lot on our plate as well. The welding room, our design is complete and we'll be going out for bid this October for that. The Moline secure front entrance is another one that we have on our plate. We're still waiting to hear from the COPS grant, and we'll go out for bid on October here. As well as the John Deere and Wilson stage lighting. We're under contract for John Deere, and we will be submitting approval at the 10/26 board meeting for the Wilson stage lighting. We're also going to be looking into athletics. We want to start doing an athletics facility study and really drill down on what our needs are, what our wants are going forward, and looking, 3 to 5 years into the future here. The Horace Mann boiler needs to be replaced. We are going to utilize lease funds to replace that. The design is all complete and will also be going out for bid this month on that. And then preventative maintenance. Sorry about that. We have a lot of heat pumps that need to be repaired at Bicentennial, John Deere, Roosevelt, as well as the Wilson fire alarm system, which falls under the health, life, safety. So we'll be addressing that as we move forward this year. So the school year 2024, 2025, and beyond. Obviously, we have the Lincoln Irving expansion. We will address the athletic facility needs and the Browning facility needs, which is mainly the concession stand and the bathrooms and locker rooms. We also need to look at our 10-year health life safety survey. We want to continue to address all of those needs in the next 5 years. And then interior painting, we want to keep on that maintenance schedule, make sure that we're getting to all of our buildings. And then the Allendale tuck pointing, there are significant issues with that structurally, so we want to make sure that we're addressing those in the next couple of years here. And then all of our LED lighting upgrades. So addressing these last 7 buildings here and making sure that we get all of that up to date for our utility costs. So the timeline that we're looking at for the Lincoln Irving Athletic Facility, in the fall of 23, we want to address our immediate needs. So for example, the softball dugouts. We're looking into that and replacing that like for like for right now, with the forethought of doing a comprehensive athletic facility study. So we don't want to over improve something that we might be completely redesigning in the near future. We also want to start, the discussions on just the scope of all of the projects as a whole. Working with, in the spring and fall, we'll start working with district administration, bringing architects into the conversation and really getting a preliminary design put together. Going into the 25-26 school year, we'll add those additional stakeholders, community members, teachers and staff members to really finalize that design and budget. And then 2026-27, the construction will begin on that Lincoln Irving project, and then ideally moving in the FY28 school year and retiring Willard Elementary. Any questions on that?
Miss, can you go back to your last slide? When you say Lincoln Urban and Athletic Facility,
Yes.
does that include all the facilities or just the one for softball that you said you guys were gonna take care of immediately?
So that's part of the comprehensive plan on what we're gonna be addressing, Browning, the baseball and softball fields, any of the other athletic facilities that we can incorporate within the budget. We obviously have to be mindful of that. So we want to discuss what our actual needs and what our wants are, and kind of pair all of that together and stay within budget on both of those projects.
But will that comprehensive look at all of the facilities and then
Yes.
you guys will prioritize? Because there's been conversation about the PEC, although that's the newest facility, it's still not functioning in the way that many of the sports teams would like it to. Flooring, I've heard that the flooring in there is not good. None of the like basketball and all of those athletes, they don't wanna use it. So is that something that you guys will include in that?
I mean, it's definitely something that we will have in our conversation and discuss. I know that Keith has been in conversations with one of the vendors.
Yeah,
With the
well,
flooring.
basically, one of the biggest problems we had was the striping did not stick for any of the courts or any of the track. And we've had it painted twice. We are trying to get repainted for the third time. They wanted to get a couple of years of usage on it, see what would come off, because they could not scrape it off. They could not pressure spray it off.
Okay.
So that it would be the striping aspect of it. One of the things they looked at when they were designing that is a wood floor. Everybody wants a wood floor to play basketball on. And at the time, because of how they were designing that, they went with a multi-purpose floor, which is the gray floor. Again, it is a physical education center. It's a classroom. And it's not gonna be exactly the same. We have synthetic floor at Hamilton, we have a synthetic floor at Franklin, and that's where they're putting in a lot of these gymnasiums. But when it comes to expectations of the wood floor everywhere versus what we use for the PE design, that's probably what you're hearing. We're not getting the basketball we want. We fixed the East Gym. The East Gym should be the boys and girls basketball. It should be the lower level freshman volleyball games and things like that. So I don't know exactly what you're hearing or what the concerns are, but I would be very interested in finding out.
I'll be happy to share.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Hey, Matt, so for the fall of 2023, assess the immediate need. Completely understand that. When we start prioritizing the the full athletic assessment, are you thinking that timing would be spring of 2024? Like when we would be able to see that?
Yeah, so that's the spring of 24 and fall of 24 is when we're going to be,
That'll be when the full assessment is done?
that's when we're gonna have our full assessment and then preliminary design. So we're gonna be talking with the architect, seeing, kind of getting a scope of what we can do, and where we can put some of these facilities.
We'll meet with the athletic director
Yeah.
a couple of times, get his input, talk to the coaches, see what they are. They've expressed their opinion quite often for a while now, because we've had so much construction. They've understood it, they've seen it, but I think now they want us to evaluate it. I did dig into some history. We had an employee that worked for us for 36 years. He was in high school here. The girls softball field and the boys baseball field were here when he was in school. Not much has been done in the last 40 years. So all of a sudden, we're going to try and see what we can do to address all the needs that unfortunately were not able to be addressed prior to the current time.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of homework to do between now and spring to find out what we can do for the athletes.
I just wanted to kind of go back to Washington. I walked in there, it was still not quite finished. There was a little bit of work that we were doing in there. And just to see how much brighter and better it feels walking in there. My kids went there and not that there was anything wrong with the school, but it definitely felt dark in the hallways and just kind of closed in. And that little bit of extra stuff, it's not just air conditioning, it's an entire building kind of revamp. In the time frame they did it is really impressive, and I really like the way it turned out. So
We were able to drop the ceiling height about 4.5 feet. By doing that and changing to the LED lights, that's what's really brightened it up. Everybody thought those green glass were in there so that they could light in it from the outside. It never had light from the outside. It was just the color of the green glass. So that was kind of a feel people got, but it really wasn't that way. So it was very interesting to see how they designed that when we took everything out of that building in 3 days.
We kind of saw that with our walkthrough for the 20-year at the high school till we walked into the gym, the smaller gym, they'd been redone, and that was something that a lot of people who hadn't been back were like, oh my gosh, because it's hard to see a new wing and picture it, but picturing what they went to school with and seeing that looks great too, with the Aspire and how they're using that.
Last question is, smaller projects, maybe not as big as what you guys are talking about here, will they appear on the facilities maintenance plan as well? And I'm talking about small projects like doors on the restroom at the high school, for girls. I know they were taken out during that,
Well, they were taken out due to behavior issues and vaping, so I don't know where that stands, through the cabinet at this point. That was one of, but that was only the door going into it, that was never the stall doors. The stall doors have always been that way. But the mall doesn't have them, the Mark does, or the, whatever it's called this week.
Vibrant
Vibrant Center. Most of your public restrooms don't have the major doors on them. So if that's a kind of a high school cabinet decision if they're gonna put those back on or not.
thank you.
Anything else?
Sorry. I just want to say thank you for all, it is no small feat to take care of all of our facilities and to update them. And so thank you for all you do.
I appreciate it. We have a very good team in maintenance as well as a relationship with all of our contractors and design team. So it is a partnership and they have ownership and we have ownership. So I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, next, we're gonna do our board policy review. And I think that's a good segue to look at our policy. Sorry, I didn't get it out to you sooner, but, you know, things get crazy. So we're gonna look at policy 4150, and it has to do with the facility management and building programs. So if you can see, we have policies in place. Some are mandated by the state, like the green cleaning thing, which we all can agree that's great, but that was a state law. And then, so we've all had a chance to read that and read through policies. Do we have any questions about it or concerns or?
Well, I would just kind of like to piggyback off what I just brought up about doors on the bathroom for high school. It says provide an appropriate, safe, and energy efficient. So if young ladies don't feel like it's safe to be in the restrooms at the high school, because males can see inside of there, whether they're just in there changing, you know, a shirt because they don't have the ability to change up before PE, just kind of go in there and change up. I think that is something that we should look into in order to make sure that young ladies feel safe, because there are, from what I'm hearing, doors, I haven't seen it for myself, so maybe it's something that the administration can check out, but male restrooms have doors on them, and it may be just a set or two in the high school, but some of the ones that were shared with me don't have doors on the entryway. They were removed at some point. So, thank you. Does our student board member have any comments about building?
I didn't know if I could.
You were like, I saw you, I was like, he's got
yeah.
something to say.
Got thoughts?
I will say, it's not like just male or just female restrooms that do or do not have doors. Obviously it is a problem with just vaping, but I do think it is uncomfortable for any high school student to have to go into a bathroom with no doors being there, because yes, I mean, it's very visible and you don't know what people will be doing. And I think that is a big thing that, like, I've spoken about it, but I think it is a very good point that we should look into that.
So are there no doors at all on the entryway to any bathroom, or just certain sets? Or?
It's certain sets of bathrooms. Some of them do have doors, and there's like two entrances to every bathroom. So one entrance will have a door, the other will not. But I guess it's to like kind of see if their kids are vaping and make it more visible for administrators. And also, you know, you can tell because of the smoke. But it's like, it's not every bathroom, but there are sets of bathrooms that don't have doors. And again, I do think it'll be very uncomfortable, and it has been very uncomfortable for a lot of students in that environment.
So it's been a long time since I've looked at the bathrooms in the high school. Is there like a visual break, or is it like door straight on to the bathroom?
I mean, it's like the door, and then there you have the sinks, but you can like from the right, it's stalls, so you can clearly see like from either entrance. Although you do have like the sinks and stuff, there's no like actual barrier into the stall, so you can see into both sides of stalls.
Cause I'm thinking about what Key was saying, like like the vibrant arena at the mark on the river.
Yeah, but there's like a hallway.
There's like there is like a visual break.
Yeah.
Which might be
You
a
can't see it.
middle ground here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's no visual break. Like you can definitely from an angle, you can very clearly see into the stalls.
It's interesting.
But are most of I know some of the stall doors in some areas, I mean, they all have the stall doors. I know for a while, like during the TikTok challenges have passed and as people were damaging things a few years ago in that, but I think I don't know what the status is in terms of, I
We
think,
can do an assessment.
yeah. So just to check to see based off of.
See, look at all the fun things we learn when we do these policy reviews.
Bathroom angles and
Bathroom angles, love it. All right, I know there was some discussion about dress code. We wanna kind of put it off for a minute, so. Aaron can't talk. But if then, I didn't say it, I was thinking it, so. So with that, do we have any more questions about the buildings? Anything else you'd like to share? Anything else about that building that you don't like? Where do we go? Where do we start now? I'm kidding.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I was gonna kind of wait to ask, like, cause I don't know how the whole kind of project is run. Obviously, you guys are going into it, but one issue that a lot of high school students are having is the parking lot. The student parking lot, it hasn't been, I don't know how long it's been, but there are lots of potholes all over the place. It's been an unsafe driving experience for a lot of kids. I mean, there's been tire issues for kids and it can cause damage. They've been patching up the potholes lately because some kids started a petition for it, but I think there's definitely could be some more improvement like looked into to just kind of redo the whole thing. I know you guys did another parking lot, and it would just kind of make it a safer experience for a lot of kids because there are a lot of kids that drive to school.
I have a quick question. When was the last time the bathrooms at the high school were updated?
It's been a long.
So I know Rock Island just went out for bid on their bathrooms and it was a lot more than they anticipated. It was, it went from, Keith, you might know, but it went from like an estimated project of 3 million to like 9.
I do know that was one of the, back last spring when Mr. McDermott and I were presenting on the choices and options for projects, and certainly more work at the high school was a viable choice, and not only the bathrooms, the front entrance, the cafeteria, the courtyard, all of that, so certainly needed projects in the future as we get it all sorted out and kind of adjust our priorities and figure out those next bonding opportunities and things like that. But I do think that, while we've got the Lincoln Irving project slated as our next big expansion, certainly as we round out the ESSER projects with the HVAC, then we can start rolling in some smaller projects along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is right, maybe my math may be wrong, but I think it's important to remind, like, we've spent $44 million or something along those lines at the high school in the last 5 or 6 years. So we gotta spread the wealth a little bit. And we have a lot of needs in the district, but some of these are very important.
Very important,
And
yes.
very important and kind of more low cost, high impact projects. So certainly when in the process of Vince and Keith doing planning, this will help kind of guide them, our thoughts and issues. We always welcome your input. So if you
Yeah,
feel like you
absolutely.
got something, just let me know.
Speak up.
Yep. So, All right, with that, we will move into adjournment of the committee of the whole. 6:54. All in favor?
I need a motion and a second.
So
All
moved.
in favor?
Motion. Second.
You just say motion.
Second of the motion. So
All in
moved.
favor?
So moved.
Aye.
I don't know
Opposed?
what's happening.
Adjourned. So do you guys want to take
I just need to read the rest.
6 minutes?
Okay, that's what I got.
Education School District number 40. To order on Monday, October 9th at the Coolidge Professional Development Room. May I have a roll call?
Audrey Adamson.
Here.
Jeffrey Smith.
Here.
Ramona Dixon. Jason Farrell.
Here.
Lindsay Hines.
Here.
Andrew Ware.
Here.
Aaron Walden Smith. Jonathan Clark.
All right, we'll do the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, approval of the minutes. The recommended motion is that the minutes of the open session of the regular Board of Education meeting of September 25th, 2023.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Alright. Now, approval of the recommended motion is the approval of the minutes of the special session of the regular Board of Education meeting of September 25th, 2023. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now, communication, public comment, and participation. Do we have any?
We do not.
All right, perfect. Now, it is the consent agenda. The recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the actions contained in the consent agenda items B through K as presented. Motion. All right, all in favor?
No,
All
roll
right,
call.
discussion, right? We're gonna have a roll call. Do we have,
Discussion.
after discussion, do we have any discussion? All right, roll call.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsay Hines. Aye. Aaron Waldron Smith. Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Jeffrey Smith.
Aye.
Andrew Ware.
Aye. All right, the next recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the actions contained in the consent agenda item A as presented. Have a motion.
Second.
Discussion? All right, roll call.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsay Hines.
Aye.
Aaron Waldron Smith.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Abstain.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Andrew Ware.
Aye. All right, the next agenda item is approval of the board secretary. The recommended motion is that the Board of Education appoint Dr. Matthew DeBain as the Secretary of the Board of Education as listed in the job duties effective January 1st, 2024. Have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Sorry, Matt.
So this rotation is a
voted against
part of our transition plan with Miss Kristen retiring at the end of this school year. We have really taken a serious look at the duties and the timing of those duties and wanted to transition some of those roles earlier so that she would be present to provide training and guidance. So thank you, Matt.
Voluntold situation.
Sort of.
It's
been passed around, I've heard.
Raised his hand, he said, please.
Short stick was drawn.
All right, roll call.
Lindsay Hines.
Aye.
Aaron Waldron Smith.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Chet Smith.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Andrew Ware.
Aye. All right, the next is the recommended motion is that the Board of Education approve the purchase of a digital Hall of Honor for Wharton Fieldhouse from Vital Signs, Dublin, Ohio, for a total not to exceed 18,000. A motion?
So moved.
Just a question.
Discussion? Yep.
Why, is it a reason why we're purchasing out of the curriculum budget and not athletic? In the memo, it stated the curriculum budget will be used for that purchase.
I'll let Dr. DeBane answer that. It's kind of a multi-purpose Hall of Honor.
It's been a journey for this, let's to say the least. We've had, Chet and Andy have been a part of it. What we were able to do is, all budgets are tight, right? And you know that we ended up just recently purchasing the social studies curriculum through some digital equity pieces. But we were able to end up freeing up some of our curriculum budget to be able to help with this. There really was no good budget that is currently allocated for this purchase right now. It's not like we put in an additional windfall of money. The curriculum budget could support it at this time. So truthfully, Vince and I met, we talked about it. Vince went to the numbers here or there of where we might be able to have a wiggle room. And because of that social studies purchase, we were able to find the wiggle room there.
And I'll add to that, because Chet and I did say it in a couple meetings, like, we decided that it wasn't gonna be just athletics, right? I mean, we decided that, there are so many things great things that Mole Leaders have done that it was hard to narrow it to just athletics, so it's going to go across all fields, and maybe Chet can.
Yeah, so this was kind of, many ideas finally rolling into one that was gonna be sustainable. And it's also really adding on to something that we already have. We have the Hall of Honor over at BPAC that incorporates athletics, academics, civic duty, all of that. And so after having a handful of meetings, we went from a Hall of Fame to let's expand what we already have. Let's bring it back into the light, because the way that they go about doing the Hall of Honor is kind of antiquated, I think is an easy way to put that. When they want to nominate people, it goes out in the newspaper. And nobody really knows, so putting it somewhere else and having more visibility and kind of revamping the process, with Dr. Burris and with some other people that are on that committee. What we wanted to do was get this part taken care of and then start working towards all right, now we can transfer everything we have at BPAC over there, so we've got 2 different locations where this is visible, and then we can start looking into how do we sustain it, how do we make it something that people actually know about, which I think was the big problem that they've had is, they try to induct people every 2 years, but I don't look at the newspaper, I don't get the paper, just not a thing that happens. So, we're looking at now, let's find a way to expand this and get some more people on the committee that might be able to help bring it more into the 21st century, even though it was born of the 21st century. So that's how we ended up here, and we looked at a few different options, and this one, like I said, it is the exact same thing that we've got over there, the same company, same everything. So all of the proprietary stuff that you need to have to do it, we have. So, cost-wise, it was really financially beneficial to go this route too, I think is.
Yeah,
big.
and even mirroring the content of the display with what we have at the Bartlett Center was also a financial savings as well, which is all fine and dandy. It's what we really wanted to do. We wanted to have it both ways. Honestly, through the work with the committee members, as Chet has said, this is the easy part, right? So what we want to do is like bring a light back to it. It's been an every other year process. Money was tight to be able to advertise it and do the celebration and everything. But we think that by having it at Bartlett Center and then having one at Wharton, we're gonna get a lot of traffic by things that really make us proud. And it's everything from the academics to the athletics to civil duty.
Yeah, I think it brings it to a whole nother group of people.
And I don't have a problem with what we're trying to do. My question is school budget. We have codes and we have categories of funding. This is clearly an athletic purchase. And it just is being put in a curriculum budget. I have a hard time saying yes to that, just for that reason. I can say yes for the why, I wholeheartedly support it, but I have a hard time saying yes to something that isn't curriculum.
Ramona, if I can answer that too, because I agree with you, especially as someone who utilizes the curriculum budget. You know, part of this is because we have the academic side and everything. Normally, I would not be before this, you know, one bit in this regard. But we have the way we do our curriculum budget, and perhaps Rock Island has a similar thing too. I can end up walking through the lines, and our lines in our curriculum budget, actually Tara helps me out quite a bit with them. There's a lot of things broken into there that are just items that we put into that fund. And this would be one of them. We can certainly look again, and Vince, if you want to talk more to it, about looking from a different line to take it out of. I'm obviously happy with that.
Matt, that is fine, it's fine, I don't wanna prolong it, but I think this speaks to what we talked about at the last meeting, the need to have an athletic budget. Like, just so we can feel comfortable making those types of expenditures without it being questionable at the end.
And that's gonna be part of our athletic facility, plan, is looking at that and where we can expand the budget athletically. But, with this year and the budget being already set, we were able to, find that money in the curriculum budget to help support this.
Any more?
So just for confirmation before I vote, there's gonna be more than just sports to be honored on this board.
Yeah, it's actually a mirroring of what's happening at the Bartlett Center, which already has that piece in it. So you could see the content that would already.
Thank you.
All right, any more? All right, roll call.
Aaron Waldron Smith.
Aye.
Audrey Anderson.
Aye.
Chet DeSmit.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsay Hines.
Aye.
Andrew Ware.
All right, the next item is approval of a memorandum of understanding with Western Illinois University Working Paraprofessional Pathway Program Field Experiences, Block Field Experiences and Student Teaching. It is the recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the current and future memorandum of understanding with Western Illinois University for the purpose of Working Paraprofessionals Pathway Program Field Experiences, Block Field Experiences and Student Teaching. I have a motion.
So moved. Second.
Discussion. Go ahead, go ahead.
I do. The future, how would we approve future memorandums without seeing them? That language is, I don't know how.
So this, I believe, has to deal with, and Matt can jump in, so we have, as part of our pay school, P for People, working with our institutions of higher ed to engage in more programs to help us with the teacher pathway. So this particular one is for para educators that want to go on and continue to get their teaching certificate. So it's twofold. Number one, if they are a current paraprofessional with us currently, we will continue to pay them during their student teaching experience. That's one arm of it. The other arm of it is they wanted an individual MOU, or had talked about an individual MOU with every single individual para that went through the program. So we did this for another institution last meeting, to where we said, we will get approval for our paras to work with your organization in this way, but this was to mitigate the initial idea of every single student going through the program of having an individual MOU. So we went for the path of approving the program, and I don't know if you want to jump in.
That's exactly right. This is actually a process that we've been doing internally to try to end up bolstering the amount of staff that could go from a paraprofessional to a teacher. We've gotten 2 MOUs now from Western in particular, where they've been MOUs for particular students. but it's for the program. So that's was unique. So Dr. Savage and I huddled up and we ended up saying, well, what we really need to do is approve the MOU for the program. It's just like student teaching. You know, we might approve an MOU with that organization, but you know, there's student teachers who were like, we can't have this anymore, and then we work that way. So we're treating it like that. So the MOU, the approval for the MOU is just for this portion of the program. That way we're not coming back to the board for every single individual student.
That's what my understanding was, like a framework.
Yes,
The student teaching is a great example. So you've approved several MOUs with various different institutions of higher ed. We'll have an agreement with them for student teachers, but this initial proposal was an agreement for every single person that went through. So we took the program approach for this.
And they'll give you guys the next ones, or will they always come to the board? We don't need to see them after that.
We
after
bring every MOU to the board, but tonight we're asking you to approve that, the partnership that we have in Western for this particular program, the framework. Yeah, that's a good word.
I mean, I think this is a fantastic program. I think one of the bigger barriers to teaching, especially for people that come from underprivileged areas, is the fact that you're not gonna get paid.
Right.
I mean, I one of my sister's very best friends did not finish her teaching certificate because she had to work. You know, she was a single mom and couldn't do the student teaching. I think she ended up finishing somehow, but I mean, that is a barrier to having teachers, and Western is a fantastic institution, it graduates fantastic people.
Mr. Dete, anything you'd like to add?
I would just say, you know, it's just not, the opportunity for our paras is not just tied to WIU. So we have, you know, we're trying to break that barrier down for all of our paras interested, no matter where they choose to go to pursue their teaching.
Western would be the more premier. Yeah, thank you.
The Harvard of Macomb.
Yes. Yes.
Audrey, did you know that's what it was called?
Yes. Totally its nickname, yes.
Yep. All right, any more discussion? All right, roll call please.
Audrey Adamson,
Abstain.
Chet DeSmit,
Aye.
Ramona Dixon,
Aye.
Jason Farrell,
Abstain.
Lindsay Hines,
Aye.
Aaron Walden Smith,
Aye.
Andrew Ware.
Aye. All right, the next is approval of special education paraprofessional at Franklin Elementary. The recommended motion is that the Board of Education approve a special education paraprofessional for Franklin Elementary School for the remainder of the 2023-2024 school year for 29.75 hours per week. I would recommend, can I have a motion?
So moved.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Chet DeSmit.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Lindsay Hines.
Aye.
Aaron Walden Smith.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Andrew Ware.
Aye. All right, number 10 is approval of the group health insurance plan for 2024. The recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the committee's recommendation to add a health savings account plan option with a $6,000 deductible. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I just have a quick question. It's an option, they don't have.
Correct. It's a part of the Affordable Care Act that dictates we have to offer it.
Does this immediately go into place, or is there an enrollment period?
Say it again?
Does this immediately go into place, or is there an enrollment period?
Is there an enrollment period for this?
There's an enrollment period for it, so it wouldn't go into effect until January.
Oh,
January, right, thank you.
All right, any other? Roll call, please.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsay Hines.
Aye.
Aaron Walden Smith. Audrey Adamson.
Abstain.
Chet DeSmit.
Aye.
Andrew Ware.
Aye. All right, number 11 is approval for the 2024 Medicare Part D for retirees over 65. The recommended motion is that the Board of Education approve the District Insurance Committee's recommendation to change the prescription drug plan coverage for retirees over 65 to Medicare Part D. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All right, roll call then?
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsay Hines.
Aye.
Aaron Waldron Smith. Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Andrew Weird.
Aye. Number 12, approval of the group ancillary insurance for 2024-2025. It is the recommended motion that the Board of Education approve Fort Dearborn Life Insurance Company for group term life insurance, AD&D, dependent life, voluntary life, and long-term disability insurance for the 2024-2025. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All right, roll call.
Lindsay Hines.
Aye.
Aaron Waldron Smith.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Abstain.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Andrew Weird.
Aye. This is the exciting part of being on the board. All right. Next, approval of the group insurance premiums for active and retiree under 65 plan for 2024. It is the recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the District Insurance Committee's recommendation to increase the active and retiree premium contributions to the group insurance fund for the 2024 calendar year for group insurance premium rates as attached. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Can someone remind me how much the premium is going up? The percentage?
How much, she asked how much it was going up, the percentage.
Percentage, 17%.
So
Yeah.
they have to pay the 17%. Am I understanding that correctly?
Their rates will increase 17%.
It's shared with the board.
The board's portion will also increase 17%. Normally.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so for an individual, the board pays 80%, the individual pays 20. So the board will be absorbing 80% of that 17%.
Okay, thank you.
I know that I don't know why I've always had a difficult time with this vote. This is hard.
This is historically not good for me.
Yeah, and I actually talked to Chet about this, and he put it in perspective of like how many teachers this translates into, and we had that conversation, and it's like 12, about 12 teachers that if we didn't pass this, that we would have to probably, I mean, that's the equivalent of what we'd have to cut, so it's what it is.
And I want to thank Vince for putting together a very good presentation that laid out per individual employee roughly what they're going to be looking at, be it an individual or if they've got the group, the family. And when you hear 17%, it sounds awful. But then when he puts it in real numbers per paycheck and you see it, and he laid it out very well in our bargaining groups that were in there. When they saw the numbers, they were like, I don't think anybody's gonna have a problem with that based on kind of the historic cost that we've had. And Lindsay was in more of the meetings than I was as far as kind of the why behind it. It's a tough pill to swallow until you really break it down and see, and Mr. Gallo did a fantastic job of that, so.
I think for me, and always has been, it's the retirees' fixed income. I struggle with that. Anyone who's been here any amount of time knows I have voted no on this, so fixed income worries me.
I that has always been my issue. I think we both voted the same way every time. But I think putting in that perspective, and I think understanding too the makeup of the insurance committee is representatives from all the bargaining units. So that does help as well. But it is a tough on that, especially on that retiree part. So, any more discussion? Right, roll call.
Aaron Waldron Smith.
No.
Audrey Adamson.
Abstain.
Chet DeSmith.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsay Hines.
Aye.
Andrew Weird.
Aye. All right, on to the next one. Approval of the group health insurance, yes. Group health insurance renewal for 2024. Recommended motion is that the Board of Education approve the renewal for the group health insurance administrative services only and individual stop loss with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois for a total projected cost of $681,361 for the 2024 calendar year. Can I have a motion? So moved.
Second.
All right, discussion? And this is to administer the plan. Any other discussion? All right, roll call.
Audrey Adamson.
Abstain.
Chuck Smith.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Lindsay Hines.
Aye.
Aaron Waldron Smith.
Aye.
Andrew Ware.
Aye. All right, number 15, approval of group dental insurance for 2024. Recommended motion is that the Board of Education approve MetLife for group dental insurance for the total projected cost of $557,317 for the 2024 calendar year. That motion?
So moved.
Discussion. Exciting world of dental insurance. All right. Roll call, please.
Chuck Smith.
Aye.
Ramona Dixon. Jason Farrell.
Aye.
Lindsay Hines.
Aye.
Aaron Waldron Smith.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Abstain.
Andrew Ware.
All right, approval of the 2022-2023 annual financial report. It is the recommended motion that the Board of Education receive the annual financial report for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
I was gonna say, so what is the motion that we receive the annual financial report?
Yeah, so by law, Vince has to give us a report. Sorry, I jumped right in there.
No, you're right.
But-
That the auditor provided the report.
That we received,
So
This
what's the motion? I don't, can you dumb this down?
that
for
we
me?
got it.
Just that we
received it.
Okay, got it.
Come on.
I'm tracking.
You have to agree that we received.
No, it is kind
It's
of,
a legal
it's
compliance.
really silly, right?
Okay.
To prove that you just saw what you
Yeah,
saw.
okay,
Yes.
got it. I just wanna make sure I wasn't missing something.
You don't
Yeah,
agree
no,
with it, you
it's-
just have to prove these.
It's a little silly, yes.
Okay.
But
Saw
it is what it is.
Do you
All
have
right.
something else?
No, that's
Okay.
the same thing, cause it
Okay.
says approved, but then it says received.
Yeah,
So
yeah, okay.
I'm wondering if the motion should be that we receive the 2023, or should we approve it? Are we
The
approving or
recommended motion was
that
that
we
the Board of
receive it?
Education receive the annual financial report for the 2023.
But the 16 says
I-
approval.
Yeah, the agenda item is.
Yeah, that
Oh,
probably
okay.
was a typo. Yes.
So that's where Lindsay
But
and
the-
I.
Approve
we're
that
not-
you
we're not
receive
gonna-
it.
Okay, good.
We get it.
Approve that you
Disapprove
receive
that.
it.
That's just, it's an over here thing.
But on the agenda.
No, you're right. You're
On
right.
on the agenda item, it was right, but the motion
The
is
motion
correct.
is, got it. Yeah. Approve the receipt of the report.
Yes.
All right,
Let's vote.
let's vote.
Ramona Dixon.
Aye.
Jason Farrell. Lindsay Hines.
Aye.
Aaron Waldron Smith.
Aye.
Audrey Adamson.
Aye.
Chuck Smith.
Aye.
Andrew Ware.
Aye.
Whatever that meant, right?
Yeah, whatever that meant. So, yeah. All right, now, reports, requests, and open discussion.
Okay,
Savage.
thank you. I wanted to give a shout out to Kristen Sanders and Leah Peterson for their work leading our special education programs across the district. The Illinois State Board of Education recently completed its annual determination review, and our district was found to have met all of the requirements regarding the implementation of Individuals with Disabilities Act. This is no small feat. There is a lot involved, and we're very grateful for their hard work, so thank you. I also wanted to double check and reference the resource that I sent out to you regarding understanding Illinois school finance.
Is there a digital version
I don't
of
know that
we
there
can get?
is.
Cause I didn't want to order a paper copy of a
I
book if
don't know
could
that
get a
there
link to
is,
it.
but I will find out.
Okay.
This is this is an old one. There is a 16th edition now. It's an easy to read to cover the basics or for a refresher. And the newest edition has been updated to address the most recent legislation, facts, figures, and legal requirements. So I'm happy to order copies for anybody, and I think I heard from a few of you. So if you want one, just let me know.
In the bookstore at the school board conference, I'm sure that'll be in there somewhere.
Yes.
That's true.
There's a way to get it digitally. I would prefer not to kill a tree.
Okay, I will ask I don't recall. Vince, do you know if they offer this one digitally? Okay, I'll find out, and I will put it back out.
I was gonna say,
I'll
yeah, or maybe we
highlight
can
it.
pass it around and
Yes.
share a version of
Could
the
share.
budget.
I think that would be, that's true.
Okay, thank you.
Safe
I will
trees.
find out.
I've
Thank
been
you
lended up
for
to her
that.
once.
Also wanted to review the Illinois School Report Card timeline. So in August and September, the data verification process took place. I want to give a shout out to Greg Green and Ed Tech, who always goes through all of our reports that the district uploads, and also the reports that are pulled through SIS. So he is a whiz and is incredibly helpful in shoring up that process for us each year. Last week, district preview opened and our analysis is underway. October 25th, districts will receive their official report card data. It is embargoed until October 30th. The state superintendent will provide a media briefing at that time on the 25th, and then it becomes publicly available. As you know, it's kind of the same timeline every year, October 30th. So for the month of November, I will report highlights to the board and Friday weekly updates and through email, as well as initiate the school improvement planning process for those buildings that need to for their new cycle. And then at the December 11th board meeting, I'll present the official report card analysis and the state of the district to the board at that meeting. And then we'll set a date to offer that presentation for parents, probably in person as well as virtual, as a part of our Pay School C for community. So something new that we're going to roll out. It is homecoming week, a little brevity here, levity, I should say. Homecoming week at the high school. Lots of great student events occurring for students and staff to celebrate. Of course, the play was last weekend. That was lots of fun. Our kids are so talented. So get out and enjoy the student activities. Anything you'd like to tell us, Jonathan, about homecoming week?
The parade this Friday.
Is it gonna rain?
It is expected to rain, so I'm on that board, but I do not know what's happening. It might be canceled last minute depending on, well, if it's pouring and it's lightning, well, can't do much.
We've been in the parade when it's raining.
Yeah, it sprinkled on us, what, 2 years ago, I think, the
2
whole
years
time,
ago,
yeah.
but I mean, it's expected to rain all day, so we'll have to see what happens, but hopefully we can run that. We're doing a lot of activities, student activities. There's a movie going on. I'll be going to float building right after this, so there's definitely a lot of input, like kind of importance on student involvement this year. I think it's really cool.
That is awesome. And coronation is Wednesday, I believe, which is very exciting. And the game Friday night against Galesburg, hopefully will stop raining by then. We don't know. And lastly, first quarter ends in just 3 weeks on October 27th, and fall parent teacher conferences are November 2nd and 3rd. So it is flying.
Yes, it is. All right, anything, anybody else have anything? All right, now
To go into closed session.
we're gonna go to, we do all in favor, right?
We do, yeah, motion, yep.
I need a motion to go into closed session to consider collective bargaining, negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberation concerning salary schedules for one or more class of employees, and litigation when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which a case, in which the case, basis for the finding shall be recorded into and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. Oh my God, I really messed that one up. That's all right, you know what I was talking about.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We can't get it right. That's why we're going to the BPAC.
I'm sitting with Kate Sweet and she's always the one.
Oh, I forgot
Two
my
months.
report.
Alright, motion to go back in the.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Vote.
return to open session.
Recommend, can I have a motion to return to open session?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Alright, open session. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?